Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Alexa Show. I am Alexa Servo-Didio, your host, and I'm so excited to be back. Happy New Year, happy 2024. And what a great way to start the year, but with returning guest Phil Falcone. He was on a couple of times with Joe's War, Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2, and now Terrifier 3. We also had his daughter on, Lisa Marie, with her incredible food. But now he's brought his friend with us, George, who's been a DP on Terrifier 1, 2, and 3. And they're both here again to tell us a little bit more about the Terrifier, but the new one coming out and what's it been like. Welcome back to the Alexa Show.
How you doing? Good to be back.
Good, definitely. So we've all been waiting for Terrifier 2, Terrifier 3, watching all of them. What's been going on with them?
Well, we're in the process. We're in pre-production on Terrifier 3. We start shooting end of January, end of this month. George put together an amazing team. We are going bigger. Terrifier 1, we had like 4 people as our main crew, and then Terrifier 2, we doubled that. So, so this time around, we got a little bigger budget, and we're putting together a nice team, trying to be a well-oiled machine, trying to find people that are like-minded, and hoping we gel together.
Yes, because I know Terrifier 1 and 2 were so unique. I mean, just the way you shot it, the characters. We all love Art the Cloud. I mean, you cannot, he's the best. He's the scariest, but he's the best cloud ever. How is that? Any new twists that you could tell us about Art?
Telling what's going on, other than, which is out there already, is that it's Christmas-oriented. I will say, you touched on a couple of things here, which was the look of the film.
Yes.
And aside from Damien, the only other person that could bring that to light was the man next to me, George Steuber.
Wow. George, tell us about it. How did this all come together? What has been your vision with it?
For Terrifier 3? Or?
Terrifier 3 and also doing Terrifier 1 and 2.
Terrifier 1 was really, the start of us coming together. I met Damien prior to that on All Hallows Eve. That was the first time we actually met and worked together. But really, it's come a long way. I mean, we've kind of changed the look from 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And 3 is going to be definitely have a unique look too as well. I don't know how in depth I can get about lenses and what we're using and stuff like that.
Well, you could just say, I would say, look for much larger,
for sure.
Much more detail. We're bringing back old school, let's put it that way, I would say.
We're bringing back an old school, kind of closer to what 1 was.
Yeah, closer to what 1 was, a little darker than 2. Again, trying not to give away too much, but it will be on a grander scale.
Yep.
And I think, even though I think Damien, George, and I, and whoever else was on crew and helping, there's so many people to name: Olga, Jackie,
Steve Della Sala,
Mike Levy, Jason Levy.
Levy.
That was our core crew. We had some amazing PAs, but again, the coming from Terrifier 1, where it was basically me, George, and Damien, we really pushed what we had as budgets. Wow. to make it, and I didn't realize how big we pushed it until we sat down with effects artists, because we have effects crews coming in now, and it was that portion of it was me and Damien, and he kept telling me how much value we were adding, and I was like, yeah, okay. I didn't know. I never did it before. When we finally signed on a crew, I was like, holy cow. Yeah. That was incredible. But what we got out of our production value for 1 and 2 is insane, and we have a bigger budget, and we plan on doing the same thing. So even though the budget is bigger, we plan on making it like, wow, you did that with that budget. So we'll always shoot for the best. We'll always shoot to do the most we can, and we ask our crew and our friends, because it's like a family. We want it to be a family. So anybody that we've worked with on any of the films, we've gelled really well.
Mm-hmm. And you could tell in the work, because I've been a big horror movie buff most of my life, and I really like the old type of school type of shooting. But how you shoot, and also the gore, the effects of that are so unique. I'm excited to see what's going to come up in Terrifier 3, because honestly, really, what you've done in the first 2, the different parts of the gore, the different parts of the different way Art has done his killings were so specific. Specific in production, specific in effects, but also in the character acting. So it's going to be amazing to see in Terrifier 3 how you're going to expand on that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I took care of all that in Terrifier 1, too. It's all me. It's all me. No, Damien, let me tell you something. I've said it since probably middle of the first film. Damien is the real deal. I mean, he knows. It's amazing. Like, he drew a sketch of what he wanted as our poster for Terrifier 2 before casting anyone. And when he cast this lead, she looked just like what he had drawn.
Right.
He knows who he wants. I brought him some talented people, and he said, oh, it's not what I'm looking for. He knows what he wants. He knows how to deliver it. He's edited his film. I mean, he makes changes on the way. He's not stuck to anything. He'll listen to people. But he's pretty much edited the film as he's filming. And it takes, I made my own film, as you know. I learned a lot from Damien. He does what I don't think many people can do. So I've been saying it. He's the real deal.
Yes.
He knows this genre better than anybody I know.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm going to praise George a little bit too, because George is like the unsung hero on Terrifier. A lot of it goes unnoticed because they say, "Oh, it was a great shot. It was great. This it was great." George was behind the lens on both of the productions of Terrifier. He's done many things. He goes unnoticed, and that's why I'm so happy that you invited him on the show, because he's an integral part of the company, and he's really good at his craft.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm only doing it because we're on film.
And I also heard you've also saved some lives on set.
Okay,
I mean,
we're
that
going
is
there.
pretty amazing.
That's
Not
where we're
that
going.
you're just doing your role. Now you're also a lifesaver. Tell me what happened.
So we were doing pre-production for part 2, and we had built most of this stuff. We shot most of it upstate, almost all of it, and we had a place that we were building sets, and we were getting ready to take off and go upstate. And then Phil's doctor, he got a phone call. Phil's doctor called him. It was about his heart. He had a bunch of issues with it. And the doctor pretty much was like, "Oh, you should probably come into the hospital. You should probably get checked out." And there was a sense of urgency in his voice. And then he hung up with him, and he was like, "All right, let's go upstate." So he was gonna blow it off and like go up and build in a big barn, basically build these sets. And then I was like, "No, I think we should probably go to the hospital." And get checked out, and I pushed, but he was really ready to go up there, and up there's really nothing there. No. It would have been a bad time.
It would have been over.
Yeah.
Yes.
The doctor couldn't believe he was mad at me.
He went in for surgery like immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, he's done that. I had a heart attack on one.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that. He said, "You got to go to the hospital." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "You're having a heart attack." I said, "No, I'm not."
Wow.
Well, I talked to my wife. She's in the medical field, and I pretty much told her the symptoms that he was having, and she's like, "He's having heart failure. You should probably get him in." And then I told him that, and he's like laughing about it, and sure enough, he had a heart attack.
Wow.
So, yeah,
We ate good that night.
yeah, we did.
So when they say you really put blood, sweat, and tears in this work, you're really putting some blood, sweat, and tears,
Yeah.
your life into this
Yeah.
work.
I tell you, I never felt like I was at risk, but the doctor said, when he hung up, he said, "You might not even finish this phone conversation."
Wow.
When they saw what was going on
Yeah.
with him, they said they'd never seen anything that bad
Yeah.
for what it was.
Yeah, I had an aneurysm.
Right.
They said the
It was very
largest they had
large.
seen was 4.5 or 4.75
I think yours was
centimeters. Mine was 7.5.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it's amazing I was alive. I was like, yeah, all right. And then they said we're going to be operated. I told my wife, bring in all the pay, because I was still designing rooms in the barn, and I said, bring all the stuff.
So
I got to
he's laying
show
in the
them.
hospital bed, drawing diagrams. George, we could probably do it this
You were
way.
still working as you were going into surgery.
They were taking pictures. I'm going, no, you got to make sure I drew it to size and everything. I'm going, you got to do this. You got to put it on this angle. Yeah, my wife was not thrilled.
No, she was not.
We have to bring up your wife because your wife is such a huge part of all of your productions. And I bet she might not be too happy about some of the stuff I see on social media. Phil has this thing he likes to do is take pictures of his wife when maybe her hair is not done, she just woke up in the morning, or she's having a discussion or
That's horrible.
did not want to be
why would you
taking
ever
a
do something
picture
like
of.
that?
Phil has those pictures on Facebook all the time.
That is terrible.
Your poor wife.
The best part about that, no matter what she's doing now, if she's not made up or something, she will not come out of the bathroom. If she knows I'm in the other
She
room,
knows already.
She sees me with a phone in my hand, she's out of there. She does not trust me with the phones. But one day, my grandson, he's 5 years old. He was actually 4 at the time. He took my phone and he's just snapping pictures all over the place. And I go, geez, he took like 100 pictures. So I'm going through and I'm going, geez, can't delete. Holy cow, we struck gold. My wife didn't count on him taking some pictures.
It's awful.
But yeah, she's on guard now. I got her in the car the other day, videotaped. You probably saw that one too.
She's no one safe.
No, she's amazing though. I mean, if it wasn't for her, there'd be no Joe's Wood. There'd be no Terrifier. So she's done a lot. She's put up with a lot.
I was just thinking of the tank in your yard for, what was it, a year or
Yeah,
so?
and that was after what I did in Joe's, where I built a fake hallway in the front foyer of my house. I have a colonial. So your main entrance is you're in this hallway. I blocked all that off to make a wall so you see the doctor's office.
Wow.
I left that up there for over a year, to the point where we no longer use our front door. We only come in through the back. If somebody comes in through the front, it just means they don't know who we are. We haven't used that door other than for deliveries, I swear to God, since 2012.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it still up?
No, I mean, I took it down, of course, a
But
year
no one
or so later.
uses-
Then we built the tank in the backyard, and she's going, oh, no. And I said, no, I'm going to take, as soon as we're done filming. And that was another year later. We finally got it out of the yard.
Took like 6 people, I think.
Oh, yeah, that was a big tank.
1,200 pounds.
So it really goes to show you all support each other. You use what you have. You know, that takes a lot to do what you're doing, but you have fun, and you can tell you smile, you have fun. It's a family, a community, putting all these films together.
Well, that's what I say. I'll be honest with you. I was retired, and I wanted to do something. I needed to do something. I was sick. And I'm glad I fell in the way I fell in, because you can't ask for a better group of people. Even the younger kids, the Fuzz on the Lens boys, they're a good group of kids. I met them on Joe's War. Mm-hmm. They came and they helped me one day, and aside from the fact that they were calling me Mr. Falcone, like I was like their father, they were very respectful. They wanted me to just go direct. They wanted to do everything. And I'm very hands-on. I have to be in the dirt, up to my elbows. So, but when I looked at that, I said, these kids are good, and that's why I brought them on for Terrifier 2. I actually brought them on at the end of Terrifier 1 as actors.
Right.
And then I brought them on Terrifier 2 as a crew. Right. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, good group of people. Our core, I wouldn't trade for anybody in the world. And I'm going to give a little plug there, Mike, so you don't get nervous. They just finished a film called Stream. Ooh. That's coming out this year. George was a big part of it, the Fuzz on the Lens crew. I had a little something to do with it. Damien did the special effects, so it's a good project.
Very
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah, go out and see it.
Can't wait to look for it. Stream. Okay. So what's it been like doing all these different films and then figuring out what's next? How do you come up with all these different ideas?
Well, after I designed Art the Clown. Well, Damien figures all these out. I'm actually working to, I'm in the process, I'm putting it on hold now, but I'm in the process of raising money to do a movie titled Blood Scent. I also have a film I wrote it a while ago. I probably want to tweak it a little bit, but it's still it still works. It's called Paintball. It's an action film. I like that. It would be done with practical effects. Not only know how to do them. I would definitely bring on Damien if he's available. George is my main man. So, those are the projects that I want to get after Terrifier 3. I'm sure Terrifier 4 will be in the works soon thereafter. And he's constantly working, so.
What are you working on, George, other than Terrifier 3?
Really? Well, right now it's Terrifier 3 all day, really. But prior to that, commercials, like when we were doing Terrifier 2, sometimes I would leave set at the end on wrap and jump into a commercial.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was doing work in between that. But now it's just really Terrifier 3.
What would you say to viewers watching, people who want to come into the film industry, either as actors, production, they have their own script they want to see? What would you say? Because I think so many times people think, oh, I can't do it, there's this, there's that. You've proven time and time again, it's a lot of hard work, yes, but you can get it done. How would they start? What are some first steps?
If you're hitting me with that question, what I would say is, if you're young and you don't have obligations to family, just go out and do it. Don't take no for an answer. I never took no for an answer in anything I did. I always, I listened to people, took their advice, either went my own way or added to what they were doing.
I knew there was a reason why we get along. I'm the same exact way. I knew it.
Yeah, so if you're young and you don't have obligations, I say, phrase balls to the walls. You just go for it. You do everything. Pull out all stops. Do what you got to do because you're only young once, and you might not get that chance again. Not that you won't, because you could always get that chance. But when you have no obligations, it's the time to take your biggest swings. My situation was a little different. I always wanted to be an actor, but with this face, it's not even, my voice ain't made for radio and my face ain't made for film, and he's proven that on many occasions. He keeps blocking my shot. But I always wanted to be an actor. When I left my previous job, I wanted to fulfill what I always wanted to do. And I was writing a movie, that's when Joe's War popped up. And after speaking with a couple of veterans with PTSD, I said, I don't care, it's going to be made. And now, mind you, I had no idea other than hearing the words director and producer and whatever, and I didn't know exactly what their jobs were, probably still don't. And I said, a director, he gets the vision across of what's written, of what he wants to do with the film, and he gets to talk to all these people. I could do that. A producer, he's a bullshit artist. I could bullshit with the best of them. So, I'm good. I got this. My friends in the film business said, you're crazy. And they were probably right, but I did it. So what I would say to people out there is, don't listen to anybody. Do what you want to do, get what you want done, because at the end of the day, when I went in for my surgery, going back to that, I called my whole family in and I said, listen to me. I mourned my father for years. You have 2 weeks to mourn me if I don't make it through the operation. Live your life. Don't forget me. I don't want them to forget me, but live your life. Do everything you want. I did. I owned clubs. I made movies. I did everything. Not all of them worked, but I did everything I wanted to do. My bucket list was filled years ago. Wow. So, just go for it.
That speaks volumes. I think just saying your bucket list was filled years ago. How powerful is that to know that you've done that? And I know so many times people find it's hard or it's scary to do that. We're not saying it's easy, but I think it's so important. If you don't try, you're never going to know. And other people will be doing it that are telling you not to do it, but they're still trying. So if you don't make it, you don't make it. But you just keep on trying and taking those steps. And I think that's the most important, not to give up. But you have to be flexible, because maybe it won't look exactly how you wanted to look like or the way you wanted to go, especially in this business. But it's just getting out there and learning. You learn every step of the way.
Oh, my past is littered with what people would call failures, major failures. And I could tell you, out of every single one, I took something out of it. Whether it was good or bad, I took something out of it. I took how to deal with people out of it. I took when you're getting schmoozed over. I took who your friends really are. You know, in every business I've ever owned or ran, I have friends from those days that I consider good friends, and it'll never change.
Yeah.
And you find out who, truthfully, I'll tell everybody, you won't find out a true person's value until the shit hits the fan.
Absolutely.
When things are going great, everybody's the best. When things don't go great, that's when you know who you could rely on and who you need to say goodbye to.
Who shows up when you don't have anything to offer?
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Yes. What would you say to those wanting to start out or just try?
I would say find out what you want to do in the field, because there's a lot of jobs.
Yes.
You want to be on the creative side. Do you want to be in camera department? You want to be a director, and just pursue it. Like Phil's saying, just go for it. I did it. I have a family myself. I have obligations, so I just did it as a business. I would do commercials and other work before features, and then I started doing features later on. So I kind of just fell into this. But yeah, definitely go for it.
Right. One more question for you. I know since COVID, everything of people filming their own things, the phone, the camera, whatever they have, has become so huge. What do you think about that? I know maybe sometimes, even they say, if you get a 15, you get whatever type of phone, it shoots really well like a real camera. I don't know about camera, so I'm not going to say anything or lighting about that. What would you say about those people starting with their phones or doing films with their phones or things like that?
It's a good start. It's a good start because technology has come a long way. Like since I got into the business, we went from using tape, and now like everything is digital. And basically, the iPhone 15, let's say.
Yes.
It's super advanced. But it's a good tool for certain things. There are films shot with iPhones. There are films that were put on Netflix.
Wow.
That were shot all on iPhones. So it can be done. But yeah, that's a good start. But I would say if you want to learn the trade, especially camera, maybe just look into cinema cameras and really get into the to the business. But yeah.
Great. So do you have any type of date for Terrifier 3? Because I know everybody's waiting.
I should know the answer to this.
We do.
We do have a date.
Yeah.
I just don't remember it. I think it's October.
Yeah, it's in October.
It's October. It's like right around Halloween. So I'm not exactly sure of the date.
Which is very fast for us. That's amazing.
I don't even want to go there.
If you think about
the fact that we're still in pre-production and we're not ready to shoot our first scene yet.
Pre-production.
Yeah, we're there. We'll be ready. We're ready to go. But there's still so many things. Bigger budget, bigger problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and like I said, we really like cohesiveness. We like to gel together. We like that family atmosphere. We like people having fun on set, and there's so many people trying to make that not be the case. And I'm very stubborn with things like this, and I say, I don't care. We want to gel together. We want to when we're done with this, we want everybody to be part of the family.
Right.
We're not looking to say, well, we don't really want that one. We want people that we want to work with from now till the end. Right. Don't always happen, but you want people that you like-minded people, striving for the best, and you get along and have fun. Terrifier 2 was so grueling to film. We did that on such a small budget for what we did. I put it up against any film with $2 million budget, and we did a $300,000 budget. I'm telling you, it was grueling, and we had a blast.
Wow. And you could tell, I think that's the whole thing when you see good art, you see a good film, you see the actors, you see the work, everything behind. People are enjoying themselves. It's tough work, but you could tell that people are getting along and everybody's heart is really in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Very much so.
And
it's good for morale, too. Always keep the morale up on set.
Yeah, as long as you don't have anybody threatening with no water and things like that.
No more water.
No more water.
or at the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming on again, and thank you so much for coming on. I will definitely have you guys back on maybe in October for when it comes out. Maybe we get some sneak peeks and some more information about it.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, everyone, see you next week. Everyone, have a good night and God bless.